Welcome. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do meditation messages regarding a question I have about the heart's experience of rebirth. And this is being prompted by two things. One is Saturn and Neptune are both in the last degree of Pisces, in advance of moving into 0 degrees Aries at the end of January and middle February, respectively. And also in the state where I live, there has been a no drought declared for the first time in decades. This is no doubt temporary. It is a time of global warming and chaos, environmental chaos around the world. But this idea that we are out of a drought because of a wealth of rainfall prompted me to think about resurrection uh, in the myth of Osiris and about the Nile's flooding, in which the Nile's flooding is described as a true metaphor for the death and resurrection of Osiris. Weariness or sorrow is at once the lethargy of one's experience prior to establishing an independent identity in the impetus that gives rise to awakening, following the separation from non-existence and the Great Mother. So I do understand this can be a bit of a leap, but if you hang with me, I do feel like this is a moment of profound healing for many of us. But it comes with a range of a diversity of emotions that we don't often associate or like to associate with positive outcomes or the healing process itself. So I pulled a Soul's Journey Oracle card to start us off and 2 Egyptian sacred animal cards to contextualize this idea of the heart healing. And of course, the loneliness card is the first card I pulled, and it reads, I know that I am never alone. And so this is correlating to this sense of lethargy for sure, but also kind of weariness and impatience, a castigation with our human bodies in our very rapidly advancing society and culture around the goal where everything moves very quickly, our attention is very fragmented, and really just the simple act of allowing ourselves permission to rest and relax feels counterproductive, it feels counterintuitive, and we often judge ourselves in unkind ways as a result of that. But for many of you, you may be experiencing a never-ending exercise of rest and sleep, as though there is never quite enough. And then that can be interrupted by restlessness, sleeplessness, anxiety about the opposite, right? All the things there are to do. So loneliness is really reminding ourselves that we are human beings in a human body. We are here to have a human experience. No matter what our spiritual aspirations or activities, we are still meant to balance those within our material existence. And the act of balance is eternal. The need for rest is essential in preparation for the tremendous sense of new beginnings that we are embarking upon, not simply as individuals, but as whole societies, whole groups, whole collectives. And then I pulled, in the place of the past, I have the fish card, which is number 28. And the Egyptian sacred animals, and I'm going to read about that. And the 2 words for the fish are fluidity and relax. The fish is associated with the goddess Hametet, whose name means head of the fish and is revered as the protector of water, essential for agricultural prosperity. The fish, as a creature that lives and thrives in the waters of the Nile, suggests the idea of purification and renewal. Relax, everything is going well. Let go of your fears and worries. If you have to decide something, choose the option that brings you the most peace of mind. Avoid choosing a path that makes you anxious. The fish's ability to reproduce abundantly and renew itself constantly in seasonal cycles reflects concepts of fertility and rebirth. Pursue projects and ideas that can thrive and grow. The fish adapts to the flow of water. Be flexible and resilient in the face of change and challenges. So I love this. This is really validating our need for rest as a precursor, a foundation for the fertility that is our natural process, our natural evolution. And in the future, we have Mahin, and that is number 34. And I'm going to read the card that represents this sacred animal. And Mahin is keywords, defense and support. So remember, we're looking into the future now. We're looking past Saturn and Uranus moving into Aries at the end of the month of January and into middle February. Mahin symbolizes protection and strength against the forces of evil and chaos. Its name literally means he who envelopes, emphasizing its power to defend and surround with its reassuring presence. It is represented as a large snake wrapped around the divine sun Ra during his nightly journey through the realm of the dead. If this figure appears to you, it could be a sign of protection and strength in difficulty or change in your life. Do not be afraid. You are surrounded by the protective presence of the serpent Mehen, who encourages you to face challenges with courage and determination. Seek the support of loved ones and try to maintain a positive attitude as you navigate your personal and professional goals. So this has us more or less braced for what is coming before us, and hence the essential process of purification, relaxation, rest, clarity, standing on our natural ability to thrive and grow, or to grow and thrive, I should say. I'm going to pull some tarot cards to clarify, and as a validation around the essential question that I am asking Spirit is around the healing of the heart, the rebirth of the heart, how it enables and empowers us to be reborn along the pathways that most deeply resonate with our values, with our talents, with our gifts. So I'm going to pull a card for the present, and I have the Two of Pentacles. And this is really a beautiful description of how we are vacillating, how we're trying to decide, how we're not sure which path is the best path, which choice is the best choice, what practice is the most supportive of where we want to be. In fact, we're still pointing ourselves in the direction we want to go. In the past, the fish card is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So we are, for many of us, at a stage of some kind of legacy building. This also applies to those who simply recognize the privileges and advantages in their life, the bounty they experience, and want to share that with others. They want to contribute to a community, a collective, a family, a society in which abundance is generated, so that seeding what you have gained in excess, what you can be generous with, provides the fundamental basis for the growth of abundance for others. And this is powerful energy. As a 10, it's indicating that you're upending the social order in some way, or you're challenging the social order. In the future, Mayhem is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. And this really underscores our cautious nature, how we feel we must hang on to what we have. We're afraid to take any risks, or if we're taking risks, they are very calculated. And in many ways, that is supported by the deep need to relax into who and where we are now without apology. Recognizing the privilege of having the choices that we have when many in the world have fewer options, fewer choices. So this is really recognizing that what you have is the foundation upon where you are going, how you would like to grow. And then I'm going to further clarify these with the Mayan Tarot, and the present is clarified with the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is showing up again. I'm going to pull all the cards before I talk about them. In the past, we have the Ace of Swords, and in the future, we have the Seven of Swords. This is exactly right. If you are resonating with this message so far, please like this video, share this with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the support that you give me. So in the present, we again are really centered in our heart. And that can, for many of us, feel like a certain lethargy, a weariness, an exhaustion, a depletion, a lack of energy, a lack of enthusiasm, having difficulty finding the energy to do even the most basic things that keep you going, that keep you clear. That can be the result of the clarity that we have gained around what we need in order to be most efficient, most productive, and most clearly aligned in our lives. The Ace of Swords is indicating that we have received the wisdom that our body is our temple, and that we not only must allow ourselves to rest, but we have to eat well. We have to move our bodies. We have to surround ourselves with productive relationships, and the eternal need to find truth, justice, and balance in our relationships, even with the very earth that feeds us, that nurtures us. So this is giving the impetus to the whatever level of purification, detoxification, getting rid of habits that you know are addictive in a way that isn't positive or supportive. And that can be pretty far ranging in our contemporary world when we are constantly fed innumerable shiny, bright distractions that take us away from our original thought, idea, or activity that we know is right for us. But this also gives us a wealth of information that is available through even technology around what actually exists in terms of alternatives, and that can even be historically researching Egyptian deity, mythology, philosophy, African religions. These are things that are providing me with a phenomenal amount of support and creative input. So I suggest that whatever you're reading, thinking about, your own thoughts and ideas, your creative inspirations are part of the detoxification, the purification that you may be experiencing. And for the future, we have the Seven of Swords, and this describes all the ways that we have allowed the world to inspire doubt and uncertainty within us regarding who we are, what we should do, what success looks like. Really understanding that your reality, your experience is unique to you, and that your attempts to articulate your ideas, share ideas, contribute to a variety of groups, your family, a collective, the community, are often misunderstood, misapprehended, and because of their rigor, their clarity, their innovation, they can be perceived, they can elicit the fears of others. And those fears often look like being shut down, being criticized, being judged, being told that that can never happen. And these can be a myriad of microaggressions, particularly from those you love and trust, because they're the only people that can often truly betray us in a way that makes it difficult for us to see it, in a way that we might expect a certain resistance from, say, co-workers or bosses or authorities. The small, unkind, dismissive uh, thoughts or comments from loved ones can be deteriorating to an inner sense of worthiness, confidence, and clarity about your particular gift. This is indicating to me that this entire process of repairing our hearts, repairing our souls, is really about gaining that belief, that faith within, that you know you are on a path that is right for you. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's path. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's particular talent or story. But that doesn't invalidate it. And those that can't or won't see it are those that are unwilling to contribute to your joy, your advancement, your progression, your growth. And that can feel harsh, even as we recognize that these things no longer stop us, that our heart, that our vision is greater than the many minor, petty, and sometimes substantial resistance that we face in the world. I'm going to finish this up with a crystal oracle because, as you know, I love them. And what flies out is the selenite. And the key words are spiritual awakening. I'm a spiritual warrior of the light. So this message is for all of you. I know you're there. I know you see me and I see you. And I know that you are walking your path of light, your path of righteousness, your path of justice. And this is important that you hold firm, that the weariness, the patience required throughout the challenges, and that includes the physical exhaustion we experience, the lack of enthusiasm or inspiration we sometimes experience, usually when we're comparing ourselves to others, is not daunting you, because as you check in with yourself, as you meditate, as you find your sacred space of stillness within, your light shines and really is uplifting you. Your spiritual body is becoming so light that it is at times weightless. Hence, Saturn's entrance, along with Neptune in Aries, is essential that we ground ourselves in reality, that we keep our expectations reasonable and modest for our circumstances, that we don't flag resistance by announcing our victory too soon, but that we persevere. We take it one step at a time. And as we do that, we are ever more confident that the past is no longer a chain. It is a story that we are working for our own benefit, for our own growth. This is such a beautiful reading, and I'm so thankful to all of you in the beginning of the year and Capricorn season, my season, that we honor reality, that we're here to be real, to offer real support, real love, tangible love to those in our worlds, in our life, in that we have received so much. Thank you. Until next time, namaste.